SummerSlam Night 1 review. And I gotta say, I think I'm going to, based on my stream, it seemed like a lot of people were saying that this SummerSlam sucked, and I don't know why. Like, I didn't see it. Like, what was so bad about this SummerSlam? I thought it was a decent enough show. Are there going to be any memorable matches? I don't think any match tonight is going to be on the all-time greatest list match of SummerSlams, but like, it was a fine show. There was like really nothing wrong with it. Now, don't get me wrong. There were two finishes that I disagree with with every fiber of my being, right? Every fiber of my being. But I understand why they did it. So, like, it wasn't, like, illogical. It was just something that I disagreed with. And let's get on with the show. Well, do you want to start with the big cash-in? Should we start with the big cash-in? Okay, let's start with the big cash-in. Yep. CM Punk, he won. He won. It was a good match. It was a pretty decent match. Now, it was slow. But if you are expecting a fast-paced match from Gunther, then you are going to be sorely mistaken. You might not like Gunther matches, but you can't put expectations on a Gunther match that it's going to be faster than what you think, because his matches all play out the same. He slows the match to a crawl, and then he does hold moves on you until you give up and submit, and then every once in a while you're like, ooh, ah, when he does his chop. All right, that's what he does. He chops you to death, and this match was a good Gunther match, and I think a lot of people in the crowd were just a little like, I don't know. It's hard for a Gunther match to be last because his matches so resemble matches from the 80s, and so like when his matches are last, you don't get like the crowd just on a fever pitch until towards the end of his matches, and Gunther dominated. He dominated this, and there was a lot of moments where I'm just like, oh gosh, is Punk going to be able to recover from that? And CM Punk, there's a point where Gunther is standing on the desk, the ring announcer desk, and CM Punk like grabs his foot, right, and makes him fall. He hit head first, and when he comes up after like a minute or two, he is just gushing blood. There's blood everywhere. This is the out. This is Gunther's out. Because I heard some people like, oh, well, they're burying Gunther. No, they didn't bury Gunther. He was a bloody mess, and then he takes 2 go-to-sleeps, and CM Punk is literally written to almost never lose. The dude just never loses. He's one of the top guys, one of the tip-top guys. He can go toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and everybody. So for him to beat you after making you a bloody mess because you were overconfident, because Gunther was overconfident, CM Punk took advantage of his weakness and then gives him 2 goes to sleeps, he wins. That's not Gunther being buried. That's Gunther losing. A champion has to lose sometimes to let another champion rise up. It's just how it is. Now, I do question Gunther losing the belt at WrestleMania to Jey Uso, but that's a whole different side quest of a video, because like I would have rathered Gunther's reign be intact, so this one wasn't so short. But whatever, okay, fine, whatever happens, and CM Punk becomes your champion. He is now your champion, and if you want to become champion, you can. All you got to do, you don't have to cash in like Seth Rollins cashed in. Wait, you're like, what? Seth Rollins cashed in? Yes, he did. We'll talk about that in a second. All you have to do to win, though, is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. And that would then enter you into a contest. Once I hit 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job, you can win said belt. It's not a toy. It's a replica. Let me put this down. And if you wouldn't mind a thumbs up, yeah, give a thumbs up. Everybody hates. There's so much hate in the world nowadays. Give a thumbs up. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So much hate in the world. Let's throw some positivity on this hate fire and then put it out. We'll stamp out the hate. Yeah, so CM Punk is your champion now. And in about 5 minutes, we get Seth Rollins comes hobbling out, and it's like his music hits, and he's like, don't forget about me. When I'm good, I'm going to get you. And then he starts to turn around, and I'm like, oh man, why would they do that? Why would they tease us with this cash-in if they're not going to actually do it? But, they got me. They got me, because then he stops. He throws down the crutches, he undoes his thing, and then he turns around and he goes for it. He goes in, and he just hits. He wails on CM Punk, and then he cashes in. I preferred the days when the opponent had to stand up, so they couldn't be out cold, but they don't do that anymore. They could be dead, and you can cash in on them. But so he cashes in, he does the curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, boom, CM Punk has lost, and Seth Rollins is now the champion. And what's even cooler is that CM Punk's title reign lasted less time than Drew McIntyre's title reign when he won and got cashed in on by Damian Priest at WrestleMania 40. So now Drew McIntyre can really tweet up a storm on that one. We'll get to Drew's match too. I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes, the big match that everyone wants to talk about, because now Seth Rollins is the world champion, and apparently it was all fake. The rumors were true. I did predict. Go to my prediction video, and I will say, who do I think will win between Gunther and Punk? Seth Rollins. That's who I said will walk out with the title. So I was right. So I was surprised. They did get me. I started to think that wasn't going to happen, but at the end of the day, I did predict it beforehand. So I'm going to take the victory there. And Seth Rollins is now your champion. So that faction can exist. I need us wrestling fans to really, really understand that if your guy or your girl doesn't win, it doesn't mean they are necessarily being buried. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't always mean that. So, I'll tell you, for example, Jade Cargill, she lost, right? And I could not believe it. I was really set on Jade winning. And I don't care if you're a Jade Cargill fan or not. Let's all pretend we're Jade Cargill fans right now. I'm a Jade Cargill fan, but pretend you are as well. Jade Cargill lost tonight. I don't agree with it at all. I think there was way more story with her winning. Or they could have had Naomi cash in, or they could have had Naomi distract, but they didn't. Jade flat out lost. But here's the deal. That doesn't mean SummerSlam sucks, okay? That doesn't mean SummerSlam sucks because my person lost. It doesn't even mean that they're burying Jade Cargill. It means I don't agree with Jade Cargill losing, and I feel that Jade Cargill should have won. That's all it means. All right, I can still enjoy the show. I can still even enjoy that match for what it was up until the point where Jade lost, and then me, the fan, gets upset that she lost, but then I move on with my life. And SummerSlam's still an okay show. Does that make sense? We gotta really, really start looking at it like that. If one of your people do not win, it's okay. Now, it's different if they're continuously, when Drew McIntyre was constantly getting rolled up, yeah, that eventually got on my nerves to the point where I'm like, they're burying this guy. Okay, so there is a difference. When LA Knight is constantly just about to hit that main event stride and then they pull him back and they just make him disappear, that's different than your person, Jade Cargill, for instance, didn't win her match. There has to be losers and there has to be winners, and you can't always get what you want. I can't always get what I want. So let's back up to the beginning of the PLE, and we'll work our way through to the end where we just talked about, and then we'll end this whole review. I did yawn 10 times. I yawned 10 times, but I was super tired going in. I worked on, this is my fourth video today. This is my fourth video today that I created. One for Patreon, one for AEW, my AEW channel, one for this channel, Wrestlechop. This is my fourth. Plus, I did a 4-hour, a 3.5-hour live stream. So I was very tired. And so 10 yawns, I think, maybe my yawn counter is a little skewed based upon how much I work. Not to mention I had to call my job 800 times, or they had to call me 800 times. But yeah, so in the first match of the night, which a lot of people were surprised, they're burying Roman because he had the first match. No. If you're not last, you want to be first. And Roman Reigns was the first match of the night. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, they fight the Brawns. And at this point, we still think Seth is injured, though. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the PLE. Bron Breakker comes out wearing the shoes. Very good call. We have back and forth. There's one time where Bron Breakker is choking. He's choking Jey Uso, and he's singing, "Roman Reigns, Roman, you should have stayed home, Roman." So we're getting a lot of personality from Bron Breakker. That's cool. We have Roman actually does a launch out of the ring, very reminiscent of Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, where it's scary. He overshoots, and I'm afraid he hits his head, and it's uh-oh. Somebody's about to get fired. One of the Brawns are, because who did not catch Roman Reigns? You're fired. Everybody's fired. The match goes on. It's good sequences. There's a lot of good sequences. There's spears. There's this. There's that. Roman will eat a spear, but Jey Uso then will knock out Bron Breakker, and then he will attack. He will get the pin on Bronson Reed. So the story here is that Roman Reigns, he was kind of playing along with the yeet. There was one point when he asked for the yeet to be restarted. He took a bullet for Jey Uso, because back in the day during the Bloodline, it was all about Roman. But here, Roman was a team player. He took the spear. For Jey. Who got the pin? Jey Uso pinned, and they celebrated. They celebrated together. This was very much a face Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns came back and he was fighting Solo Sikoa, he was still a heel. But this Roman Reigns is definitely a face. And they won. They won their match, and it's there's no real stakes to this match. Ooh, steak. Oh my gosh. I'm on the keto diet right now. So right now, a steak with potatoes, mac and cheese. That's what I want. I'll put the steak over here. I just want that mac and cheese right now because low carbs. Oh, stop talking about it. Stop talking about that. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Man, when you're on a diet, you only think about food. Okay, anyways, where was I? Flashback to, okay. So, yeah, they won. There's no stakes here, so there's nothing really to accomplish. However, if we go to tomorrow or Monday Night Raw, if Roman hasn't gone back on vacation or to film Street Fighter 2, well, he's an obvious choice for Seth Rollins, first competitor, because, well, he, storyline wise, we're not supposed to know that he's going to go and film a movie. So in reality, he should just go up against Seth and say, I want a shot at your title because I want to destroy you. I hate you. And I want to take all that you value and devalue it. So Roman Reigns should be the guy, but maybe CM Punk could be the guy too, or LA. Who knows? They'll probably, because if it's not a PLE, Roman Reigns, and if it's a Monday Night Raw, one spear can knock out Roman for 3 months. But if it's in a match, it'll knock him out for 30 seconds. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow they beat up Roman, and then they can have that match somewhere down the road, and it's CM Punk. But regardless of that, Roman and them won. Here's another instance. I would have rathered the Brawns win because I feel like they could have got more out of it. But, like, I totally get why Roman Reigns won. He's the tribal chief. Let's start off the show happy. So I totally get that. But again, here's an instance where I was like, I'd rather those guys win. But they didn't ruin nothing for me. Then we have the not best friends, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This was also another good match. This was also a match where my gals did not win. I wanted Judgment Day to win. I really like Raquel Rodriguez. She has really grown on me, and I was really hoping she would keep the belt. However, we have the storyline here was Charlotte Flair accidentally got punched by Alexa Bliss one time, and so at the end, Alexa has Roxanne Perez in the not the Uncle Howdy, but the Sister Abigail, and Charlotte looks like she's gonna get revenge, but then she just passes Alexa and nails Raquel Rodriguez. They win the title. So again, my gals did not win, but I'm okay with it. Didn't ruin SummerSlam for me. Wow, almost none of my people won tonight, actually, to tell you the truth. But so the not friends, they win. Now, I will say the next match made me upset. I was very upset, but again, didn't ruin SummerSlam. All right, that's the moral of the story. But I was very upset with this next match because Karrion Kross lost, and they had so many perfect opportunities in this match to make Karrion Kross either win or lose and not make Sami Zayn look bad. There was one point when Karrion Kross could have literally just thrown Sami the pipe, did an Eddie Guerrero, and get a DQ victory because it looked like Sami had used the pipe. Okay, that didn't happen. There was one time when Sami had the pipe, right? And he had to decide whether he was going to use it on Karrion Kross or not. And so he just gets rid of it. He chooses the better route, and he gets rolled up. And for some reason, this roll up didn't actually work. And so then he kicks out, and then eventually he'll get the pin. And I just question this. Like, he's so over with the crowd, the internet crowd and stuff. I know we don't exist, but let's be real. We do exist, all right? Couldn't you give us this? Couldn't you have given us... If it was a roll-up pin, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. How many times have you rolled up Drew under that same logic of, oh, roll-up, don't matter. Just roll up Sami here, because then Sami would have had to got rolled up because he was such a goody two-shoe. That would have been a perfect ending for this whole scenario. But nope, Karrion Kross lost. So maybe Karrion Kross is getting fired. I don't know. Or maybe slight chance. What if Sami goes up against Rollins and he loses, and then boom, Karrion Kross reappears, and Sami's like, you're right. So maybe there's an out, but like as of right now, it's like, why wouldn't we just let Kross roll up Sami right there? Perfect out. They had it. They wrote it to perfection, and then they were like, nah, let Sami win. I think that was a missed opportunity, and I was upset. About that one, but again, didn't ruin it for me. Though I do worry that Kross is on his way out of WWE. He's been doing stellar work off WWE TV, and I was hoping that it would get him on WWE TV. So then, what's our next match? How many matches have I done? Oh, the next match, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany. Already talked about it in the front end. Jade lost. I don't get that. What they should have done, here's my opinion. You know, they could have, if we were going to let Jade lose, either A, turn Tiffany heel, make her do something heelish, or B, have Naomi come out. Let's just say Naomi is such a lunatic and she hates Jade so much that she just does not want Jade to have any pleasure in this world. So she will still interfere with Jade matches when she has the opportunity. And she could have just easily been there, distracted her, cost her the win, and that would have been it. And then maybe eventually we could have traded Jade to Raw, and then their feud could have continued from there. But they just something very, very small, especially because there were no interferences in this whole PLE. So if Naomi had done the one interference, that would have been great and amazing. Like, for real, we could have protected Jade. So right then, those two matches really put a sour taste in my mouth. Like, Raquel and Roxanne, I wanted them to win, but it didn't, like... I was okay with it. You know, no harm, no shade in losing to Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. No harm in losing to Roman freaking Reigns. But I'm like, come on, you had to lose to Sammy? Come on, you had to lose to Tiffany? I don't think Jade should have lost. I don't think Karrion Kross should have lost, but I digress. It's still a decent SummerSlam. This is still a decent SummerSlam. Just two of my guys and gals did not win. They did actually. None of my people were winning right now, but two of them for sure. Then we go to Jelly Roll, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. I'm just waiting for Jelly Roll to roll up Drew McIntyre. Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. This was very interesting. Very interesting because Jelly Roll started, right? And for Jelly Roll to start, I'm thinking this guy must have some moves. He must actually know some moves because usually you want the weaker of the two to get like, you know, if they know almost no offense, you keep them hidden as long as possible so they can get like a hot tag, come in, do 5 moves, and you can mask the inexperience by doing that, but they put him in first. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Pretty much he got a couple moves in, and then he proceeded to get the crap kicked out of him. I loved it, honestly, because Jelly Roll was not a Logan Paul. Jelly Roll was not a Bad Bunny. In that, he was not a natural. He just got pounded. That was his role here. He got pounded. At one point, he does tag in Drew or Randy, and then they have an actual match, but he'll get tagged in again, and eventually he's going to get put on the ring announce table. Not the ring, the commentary table. And Logan Paul literally jumps on him from, you know how he does that spot from the top turnbuckle? I'm sorry, you can't fake that. You cannot fake that. That had to hurt, especially someone like Jelly Roll, who, like, yeah, you lost 290 pounds, but you're still soft. S-A-F-T, soft. Realest guy in the room. All right, so, but yeah, no, he had to be, like, that had to hurt. That had to straight up hurt. And then the angle is, like, they're taking him back for medical attention, but he's like, at some point he's like, I can't leave Randy. I gotta get in there to help Randy, because now it's a 2-on-1. He gets in there, right? He gets in there, and then he gets his crap kicked out of him some more, and eventually Logan Paul is just gonna pin him. I'm like, wait, what? Logan Paul, the savior of WWE? The gatekeeper, not letting celebrities come in? I could not believe that. I could not believe they let Drew and Logan Paul win. Like, that never happens. The celebrity is always supposed to win. So I'm gonna give, like, this match should not have happened. I still stand by that, but I am gonna give props to Jelly Roll. I'm going to give you props, Jelly Roll. You are a big fan of wrestling, and as a big fan, you put over the wrestlers who are going to be here more than you. And so, like, I do appreciate that, Jelly Roll. And I on some levels, I'm glad you lived out your dream, and I'm happy for you. I wish it wouldn't have happened because, you know, whatever, but it did. I'm glad you got to live that out, but I respect you. I respect you for not insisting the win. A lot of celebrities would insist the win, but you didn't, and, like, you know, respect. Hats off to you, for real. Hats off to you for that. You treated the business with respect. Please let that be your last match ever. But, like, good for you. Good for you for not letting Drew eat the pin, for not letting Logan Paul eat the pin. Like, I respect that. I really do. And so there you have it. That's like, and then we have the Gunther match, which I already reviewed. So, yeah, what am I going to chop this? 1 out of 10? I a lot of people, 3, 4, you know, oh, Punk lost, I can't believe this. Oh, Punk won, I can't believe this. I hate everything. Like, I hated that Karrion Kross lost. I hated that Jade lost, right? There were outs. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm giving SummerSlam Night 1 a very low 8 out of 10 chops. I had no problems with it. No problem. Well, I mean, I had some problems. But it was still good. It was not illogical. That's the thing. I don't like illogical booking. I don't like booking with holes. There's no plot holes here. My guy and gal did not win. I'm mad that they did not win. But if I'm to treat this like the sport that it is, your sports team can't always win. My sports team tonight did not win, and that sucks, but I'm just going to root harder for them next time. So, boys and girls, if you're still with me, I appreciate you. If you've unsubscribed and said, hey, I hate this guy, he's just a WWE plant, well, you know, I was on a WWE show, so maybe I am. I'm not, though. I'm not. They did not pay me at all. But if they do pay me ever, I will tell you that they are paying me, and I'll be like, all right, boys and girls, from this point forward, I am a WWE sellout. Look at all these stacks of money I got here, and I will from now on just tell you only good things about WWE. But until then, I'm willing to say the negative. I just thought that this show was pretty decent. Night 1, so far, so good. On to night 2. Hot takes also in the morning, so go to the tab, and I'll see you. Goodbye.